Yo, maniacs, Hulk Hogan, the greatest of all time here. And I'm telling you to train, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins. And listen to my main man, the Sex Bagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric and Jordan here with you. Talking about television, movies, streaming updates, all the things that are going on that you need to know about. We're going to tell you in just a moment. I got to tell you also, that bathroom break I had to go. I drink so many of these damn fucking tumbler things. Like, I am pissing like crazy. You would think I had a bladder problem with all of this stuff here. But
you got to get your prostate checked.
Apparently so, but I drink a lot of beverages, so it shoots on right through you. We do start segment 2. We're talking about things that we are watching, that we are listening to, that we are playing. Jordan, tell us, what have you been doing this week?
I've still been playing through Donkey Kong Bonanza over on the Switch 2. It's a fantastic game. I told you it's the same developing team that did Mario Odyssey, a game that we both enjoy. This just adds another layer of being able to just beat up stuff. It's very layered. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it. I think it's probably one of the best Nintendo games that they've put out as of late. It's everything Mario gave you, everything Donkey Kong gives you, and everything that you want in a beat 'em up. And I'm having a great time with it. Like, it's a really just fun game. What I have been listening to, there's a band called President. They're putting out an EP soon. They released another song called Rage. That one's actually really fun. And then I have been kind of changing up my my listening habits, and I've been listening to a lot of like bluesy rock. And there's a gentleman named Cam Cole. He's one of those one-man band type things where he's playing the tambourine between his legs while he's drumming with his feet and playing a really good bluesy guitar. He's got a really good song called Mama. He's been around a while, but I'm really digging his stuff. And then I've been watching Ted Lasso rewatch because they announced that they started filming season 4.
Right.
So I'm rewatching Ted Lasso.
What was the still shot that I saw on social media? They were just sitting around a diner having breakfast or something.
So at the end of season 3, you saw Ted leave Richmond and he went back to Kansas City. This is them going into Kansas City, I think, to kind of bring him back. So that was them in a diner in Kansas City. So they're filming in Kansas City and then they're going to move over to England again. But yeah, I've been rewatching that. It's super rewatchable. Like, it's such a fun show. What I'm finding though is that although I really still love Ted as a character, his antics with him being like literally like a sugar and fueled ADD kid kind of wears thin. So I'm really enjoying a lot of the side characters more than I did, I think, originally. So we're loving that. I've been watching Shark Week a lot of cool stuff. They did like an Air Jaws where they were trying to track down the show called Goliath that they had tracked some of the first Air Jaws stuff. And like this is what was sad about it, is that the reason why the sharks that they've been kind of filming for these Air Jaws stuff went away is because a pod of orcas came in and either killed a bunch of great whites or just ran them out. And it was like, oh, fuck you, orcas. Like, go kill Shamu. Like, the sharks are cooler. So I've been watching a lot of Shark Week. They did like a Dancing with the Sharks show with Tom Bergeron. And like, it was weird. Some of it's very gimmicky and dumb, and some of it's actually really cool. So Shark Week has been great.
The closest I came to Shark Week, because I got to go and look online and see what I can watch, was watching that clip of Fat Joe perform at SeaWorld and the audience not enjoying it and actually getting up and leaving during the performance.
Yeah, he's like, there you go.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. And then South Park's season 27 episode 1 premiere was last night. And then I watched that on your recommendation. I was going to watch it anyway, but then you were like, you got to watch this.
I didn't DVR it on cable. And I also don't have Paramount Plus. So I was like, damn it, I gotta find it, right?
Yeah.
By bizarre coincidence, there's like everybody was posting the entire episode on Twitter last night. I don't know why that was a thing, but I was like, oh my God, there's all these accounts that I just have the full episode. Normally I don't do that. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to watch it here. One video I'm watching, I think the account was called I think the account was called Wu-Tang for the Children, or Wu-Tang for Children was the Twitter account.
Amazing.
And in the middle of me watching it, all of a sudden it just stopped and it said, media shut down by the content owner or whatever. I'm like, oh, that sucks. And then I looked in the replies and there was like everybody else posting that they had
like,
the video.
Here you go.
Yeah, so I was watching, I finished the whole video and wow. Some of it wasn't overly funny. Some of it was the beginning of it with the NPR thing that's his favorite morning radio show, and why and the reason why. I'll have to pull that clip for next week about why he thought NPR was the best morning show in the world. They were obviously doing a thing. It was very transparent that they were goofing on the Colbert situation that Trump got Colbert fired. But yeah, they really leaned into some bizarre timeline stuff where the president was causing all these problems. The people were joining together both on the left and the right, and they were going to go take him down, and they bust into Mr. Garrison's house. And they're like, wait, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm watching White Lotus with Rick. And they're like,
they just got done finished watching the first season of White Lotus.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not in Washington. Wait, if he's here, who's in Washington? And then they do Trump like they did with Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, it was a big callback to Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Mm-hmm. Having the devil there.
Yeah, so the rest of that stuff was like, until that PSA started playing. Now, here's the thing. I was going to pull it and play it, but it could get us in trouble because of the content in there. But it's also available on YouTube, but it's age restricted 18 and up. So if you want to see
pretty obvious reason
to see the official clip, you can go to He Trumped plural, not plural, past tense.
No, it's just Trump. I think it's just Trump.
No,
I think it's Trump.
No, it's TRUMPED. He Trumped us.com. And they have the clip there for you to watch the PSA that they made. Now, I was trying to figure out, I guess they're daring him to sue them.
I mean,
right?
Considering the day before,
the deep fake was on point.
I thought it was like an actor at first, like not really a deep fake, and then you're like, no, this is a deep fake. And when they finally got close enough to see it, I was like, holy shit!
Yeah. So
how are they going to get away with this?
All I could say is it's so funny the balls they had. Where we'll get into this a little bit more in segment 2. They just finished their deal. And then they pull this thing here. So all right, we'll save that for when we get into the news. Anything else that you had, or is that it?
No, that's it. That was basically it. I'm if we can get out of here soon, I might go see Fantastic Four tonight. But yeah,
okay, we'll try to rush through then. So I watched the South Park episode. Very good. I've been playing Schedule 1 again on the PC. Now this game. I've been seeing a lot of videos come out about this game that it's causing a lot of problems because it's one guy that has a small team. One guy created this whole game, and he has a couple other people I think he has working with him now because the game exploded online, and people are playing this. Essentially, you're in a burnout town that everyone's addicted to drugs, and you become the big drug dealer in that town, and you got to
Bakersfield.
You got to make you got different locations. You got to figure out how to launder money. You got to make certain products based on the different townspeople's likes and interests. You got to make stronger forms of weed. You got to make stronger forms of coke. Then when you get to a certain level, you got to figure out how to develop meth. And it's all of this stuff here. And there's a continuation coming soon. Ooh. Where they put out a poll for you to decide what will be the next feature in the next update. And they had like cop invasions. They had this, other, whatever. Now you're going to have, you could have another drug cartel show up in town and you'll be fighting with them. Now you have raids. So you you can have federal raids on your thing now that they'll be coming. But anyway, I got in there. I did a deep dive watching instructional videos, people's advice on tips and tactics to how to develop the best base, how to set this up, how to schedule the right people for each dealer that you have. Like there's all these hits and misses that go into all this thing, but it's a very cartoonish world. So it's
I tried playing the other night because I know you've been playing and I want to play with you and play this game. But on the Steam Deck, in handheld mode, it is impossible to have fun with it because it is not built to have the normal controller stuff.
Yeah.
It is
it's a keyboard and mouse
keyboard
game.
mouse. So I tried to see if I could mess with the function. It just was not going to work for me. So I'm going to plug it in. I've got the stuff. I can put it on the computer, do keyboard and mouse, but I want to play because it looked really fun.
Yeah, I've gotten a nice base setup now where I've got automation going. I hired botanists and chemists to start mixing things. I've got handlers ordering supplies and moving things around. And starting to grow. So whenever you want to come in, it's fine. My base of operations is going. We're doing well. And I am laundering money like crazy. I'm just spending days running around to different locations, back rooms of like the post office, of a laundromat, of a taco place, where I just go in there and I'm dropping bundles of money into the machine. So it's going through and getting laundered into bank account. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, the point I was getting at is that there's a lot of videos saying how this is causing a problem for the perception of AAA game companies, because the days of like, well, we need 1 million, we need hundreds of people working on this. It's going to take years to get all this done and whatever. For certain games, yeah, that's true. Like a Diablo 4 or something like that. Not Elder Scrolls, Enshrouded is another big game people are playing. Those kind of things. Helldivers. Those kind of things.
It's coming to Xbox now, so
right.
That player base is going to grow.
But there's all these smaller games that you only need a handful of people, and as long as they keep up with it and making money. Phasmophobia, I play that all the time. That's just a small company.
Yeah, and they just put out a big update.
Yeah,
recently,
and people are loving it. And these games are causing big problems because the failures of a AAA game company now, when they don't sell or hit the mark, don't look. They're not as small a loss now based on all these smaller games being put out that are making millions of dollars off of Steam or like Xbox Game Pass or something like that. And it makes those bigger companies go, well, we don't need all these people. We don't need to do all of this shit. So it's great having these small developers kick the shit out of the bigger ones so that they'll probably put more time and effort and care into their support and their streaming and all of that stuff. And we all get better games down the line, hopefully.
Speaking of games, next week I'll have a review of it because I haven't really started playing it yet. But I got my hands on Date Everything. So
wait, I thought you had that game.
No, I hadn't got it, and I got a hold of it. So I'm going to play it this week, and then next week we can all laugh at me for dating.
Do this for me. Stream it on Twitch.
Okay.
So that it stays on your video on demand. I can pull clips from it, and we can show stuff as you talk about it. That'd be great.
Yeah,
so yeah, I've been playing Schedule One a lot. Watching things. I finished Castlevania Nocturne, both seasons. There is too much fucking singing in this episode, in these series. That's just, it's slow, it's aggravating, it's annoying, and they leaned way. I'm not ignorant. I know vampire lore is a lot of gay culture. I understand.
What?
But they really go too hard into the gay stuff with the vampires, and you're just sitting there like,
Anne Rice books.
This is just, it's like, all right, enough. We don't need to see his ass every angle while they're having this dialogue. It's just enough. It was
drawn for
the first Castlevania series was great. The second one sucked shit. But Netflix does that thing when you're done. It recommends other things based on the things that you watched and the things that you liked. It recommended an animated series, same production company that made the Castlevania stuff, called Blood of Zeus. It's 3 seasons, and I'm about to start the 3rd season. I've really enjoyed it. I couldn't believe how good this was. It wasn't.
Looks good.
It's over the top. It's violent. It's really into the Greek god lore. It's fantastic. I was pleasantly surprised after coming off of Castlevania Nocturne how terrible that show was, how great Blood of Zeus has been. So recommend that. Put that on your ad list for Netflix.
So I remembered when we talked about this last night briefly, what show I was thinking of, because I thought this one was the Zack Snyder bit, right? And it's because it deals with gods and stuff like that. The one I'm thinking of that I think maybe you watch after this is called Twilight of the Gods. and it deals with the same kind of animation, adult animation, but Norse mythology.
Okay.
So you're going to get a lot of like Sigrid, Leif, Loki, Thor, all that stuff, but it's all animation, and it looks almost similar to this, and that's why I confused the two.
Okay.
So
I will definitely check that out. Oh, by the way, there's a demon in Blood of Zeus. His name is Seraphim.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Commander Urak from Voltron. They're like purple skin, but they got the red glowing eye for some reason.
Yeah, right.
So I'm wondering, I'm like, did these guys make the new Voltron? They didn't make the new Voltron, but they must have been Voltron fans because that demon looks exactly like that character from Voltron. So that's what I watched. Okay.
What a deep cut.
Moving on, what's out right now? Fantastic Four is in the movie theaters. I am going on Friday, midday early. I have my ticket. I did not buy the $80 Galactus popcorn bucket. I don't even want the stretchy cup holder. Reed Richards thing looks terrible. The Galactus thing looks fantastic, but it's not not $80.
No, I'm not spending $80.
Don't need that at all. So yeah, Fantastic Four is in the movie theater along with two other Pedro Pascal movies in the movie theater. So you have your fill if you're one of those people. I forgot to bring this clip. Somebody put together a montage of press they were doing for Fantastic Four all around the world. It wasn't just like your like TMZ and Extra and all the normal American stuff. All around the world. All of these entertainment reporters, the gay guys, the women, all keep saying, it's like, so what is it like being the internet daddy?
I saw one clip of that, and for some reason, even though he knows the term, it took him a second to realize it. And then he's like, "Oh, the daddy, the capital D daddy."
Yeah, I think.
And then he kind of deflected a little bit. He was like, "Well, no, I'm not the only one," because they were talking like Marvel daddies or something like that. And he goes, "No, I'm not like the." And they started going like, "No, Robert Downey Jr. or Captain America." Yeah, I saw one of those clips, and it was just like, oh.
Yeah, I found. I remember one of the videos I watched that had. This wasn't the first one I saw, but this was one that also had. They made their own version of it and put it together. I'm going to share this right here. This comes from our friends over at the Nerdrotic YouTube channel. Take a look at this here. Let me get that going. Here we go.
The internet can't decide whether it wants you to be boyfriend.
Why is it not adding?
Daddy.
I don't know.
All right, hold on. Let's start this again. It's right there. Add to stage. Before remove other media. I have to remove all this other shit before.
That's weird. Hold on, let me see if I can add it.
No, I got it right here. Let's see.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wow.
That's very odd.
Okay, I had to remove everything we had. That is a dumb feature. I've been looking at
that's never happened before because we've always had 1,000 things up there.
I know, but all right, let's try this again here.
The internet can't decide whether it wants you to be boyfriend, daddy, dad.
What the is this piece of shit?
But do you think it's safe to say that Reed is the first capital D daddy in the
This is the guy I saw.
No. I would say he's.
Yeah, I hate that. Is he the daddy?
The capital D daddies.
I mean, it's your ass, not mine.
Listen, these are gorgeous. I think that's my favorite image.
That's the other thing that's going around the internet too. Is these two molesting each other all the time? And there's times where he's touching her and she's uncomfortable, and you see her pull his hands off of her. And then there's times where she's doing this shit like
before.
Crazy.
Just our hands.
Yeah.
I did not come down here just to get jerked off.
I've got one big spoiler that I'll share.
Sure. Go on. What? Like what?
I have relationships with women and sex with men.
What movie you want to see? You want to see a Pedro Pascal movie?
I saw this too.
You want to see a Pedro Pascal movie? Or do you want to see...
That's the one Giddles saw.
Pedro Pascal
Eddington.
movie?
You're famously the daddy of the internet. Yeah.
The daddy of the internet. Fuck off with the mommy and daddy shit.
That was painful to watch.
Yeah.
You've kind of become a social media icon for your force-filled, snatched fierceness face. Oh God. It's a good thing.
That was mind-blowing too. because they all feel like, well, that's how we talk here. We can talk to people like that, and it's okay. That's how it is on the internet. No, it's not.
You couldn't imagine interviewing someone and just like saying shit like that to them.
All right, first of all, she's wearing a shirt that says God's favorite.
Yard.
No. Second of all, she is never going to be invited back to doing a press thing. I think she's Australian, but she said here, she's like, you're known because Vanessa Kirby has that kind of resting bitch face look, but not towards her. Like, she was great on the Crown. She played Princess Margaret for certain stages of Margaret's life and whatever. And that's how they were very stoic, very stuffy, not very emotional or giving people, the royal family. But like scenes of that and other photoshops where she's not posing or smiling blew up, I guess, online, and they're like, you're very known for being very, what did she call it? Snatched, cunty, fierceness face. Like they just say it like it's no big deal. It's like, oh, like that. No, that's a good thing.
No, knock it off.
Do you imagine if you were in California and you were invited to these satellite tours and you said that you'd never be invited back again? No, it's just a language thing. That's how it is on the internet, or that's just how we talk here. Not here. Not for a Marvel Disney property.
I know, and that's the other thing. It's like, know your audience. These are going to be younger kids and interested in Fantastic Four, and you guys have made it in something kind of gross.
Yeah, she's just so dumb.
Face. Oh God! It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good
Face is good, babe. Face just means fierce.
Does it mean like
fabulous, beautiful?
Where's the towel?
What's your rising sign?
I hate that too. It's like you can't just say, "Oh, no, you're a very strong, powerful character," or whatever. They all have to have a million adjectives to say, "No, this is what we mean." It's like, say what you mean. Stop sugarcoating and coming up. That drives me nuts with the Gen Z shit and what have you. It's like they're constantly making up all these terms that don't really make sense towards other things, and it's not being old. I go and I research and look up what they're implying. It's like just be straightforward sometimes. They can't do that. They can't have a direct conversation with anybody. Ever. It's always got to be these fucking code words and slang terms that it's like, okay, I get some of these things you're describing, but talk to the person like a person. You can't do that. Imagine being in an interview and this is how you were being talked to. I'd be like, is there somebody else I can talk to?
Is there an adult here?
Is there an adult here or somebody that's, coherent?
Is it really? Oh, I'm very judgmental.
Holy shit. This sucks.
Okay. So, yeah. Go support. You can find their Fantastic Four review and everything over on Nerdrotic. But you get the point of what I'm saying. It's like this whole thing with the daddy. So you're not the daddy of the... They do that too with pop artists. Mother is mothering. Kesha is so... I saw Kesha at Madison Square Garden and I was like, oh, mother. It's like, I hate you and I hope your family hates you too for the way that you act in public like this, because you are just not a good human being or person at all. And I hope that ruins your day and really has an impact that scars you for the rest of your life. So Fantastic Four is in the theaters. You can go watch that. Where did segment 2 go there? Right there. That's in the theaters. Over on HBO Max, we talk, and the Discovery Channel too. Jordan was just talking about Shark Week is underway. 37th annual Shark Week, by the way. Did you get your knockaround glasses?
No, I didn't, because they switched up this year. They switched up the model because I have various Shark Week. One, I think I get them like every year, but this particular model fits my face. I have a big fucking head, and the ones that they switched them to are slightly smaller. And I know if I buy
thinner
them,
ones,
they're just going to look dumb on my face. So unfortunately, even though I really like that, it's like, I think it's like the lemon shark. They're like yellow and they have really cool design on them. I may be passing this year. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I just get them to gab them, but no, not this year, unfortunately.
Okay, so
great glasses though. I mean, if you love knockaround, go get them.
Shark Week is up and running on the Discovery Channel, or you can get the streaming content through HBO Max, their Discovery section. Death of a Unicorn is finally available. I'm going to watch that. And then this I didn't know about until the next day after we did the show. Billy Joel's documentary is So It Goes. Part 1 is up there right now. And I'm going to go watch that. So that should be fun. Over on Paramount Plus and Comedy Central on your cable networks, South Park Season 27 has started and premiered. Over on Disney Plus Hulu, what is Washington Black?
It's like think of it as like a completely black cast version of like a Around the World in 80 Days type of thing. It's like this artist inventor guy. He has like some weird travel machine and he's going around the world getting into adventures. It looked interesting. Other than that, I don't know much about it. So I might actually check that out, just something to have on and see if it's good.
All right. Over on Netflix, Happy Gilmore 2 is available.
I made my daughter watch the first one and she sat there going, this isn't funny. But then like there would be times where I know. And there'd be times where she would be like, this guy's crazy. I was like, I know, that's why it's funny. And then I realized I did them a great disservice. They had no idea who Bob Barker was. So the whole bit was lost on them both.
Yeah, but the fact that he hooked up with the old lady because she had Subway meatball sandwiches.
So funny.
All right. Well, Happy Gilmore 2 is available on Netflix. Sandman Season 2, the final episodes. I'm very excited for this. I watched Season 1, the Part 1 of Season 2, which launched at the beginning of this month. And now this is the conclusion for Season 2. And then I think we just have a movie or something that's coming, right, for Season 3?
I don't think they're doing anything. This is it.
I thought they were doing
they're
one more.
Literally.
Or am I getting that confused with Good Omens? Yeah.
Good Omens is what we're getting.
All right, so I'll watch this.
This is it.
And then what's Until Dawn?
It's a video game movie adaptation slasher movie. Kids get stuck in a time loop and can't figure out how to break it, and they keep getting murdered every night. The game is great. Like, I love the game. It's one of those choose your own adventure murder games, like the serial killers going around, the kids in the woods. They made a movie. It's cheesy, but it's fun. It's turn your brain off, enjoy a good slasher.
Okay.
Which is funny because I did watch Thanksgiving, the other slasher movie, the other night.
And you told me you watched last week. I know what you did last summer, the reboot.
Yeah, that one is one where it's like the second you watch the trailer, you realize you already know who the killer is going to be, and it's like,
what? What did you say? I don't know. I didn't know what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Over on Video on Demand, Lilo and Stitch. Is that the live action one?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it on Video on Demand and not on Disney Plus?
Because they got to get more money out of it.
Oh, okay.
Video on demand, they're going to release it like physical media, and then they'll throw it on Disney Plus. Got to get that extra money. It made $1 billion. They're going to squeeze as much out of it as possible.
Gotcha. Coming up next week, Twisted Metal Season 2 on Peacock.
Can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
That'll be good. And is August next week already?
Yes, it is.
Wow, next Friday, the Naked Gun reboot. Or not reboot.
It's like a continuation.
Yeah.
Because it's like Frank Drebin's son.
Right. So you have that, and then Bad Guys 2.
It's a cartoon based off a book series. The first cartoon was actually really cute. It's a bunch of animals who are like bank robbers who decide they're trying to be good guys instead of bad guys. It's actually really good. If you got kids, it's an enjoyable show.
All right. Let's move on to the news. Jordan, what do we have?
All right. So this first section is going to be a lot of South Park stuff like that. So South Park series creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone have officially extended their overall deal with Paramount Global for 5 years, worth approximately $300 million per year for a total of $1.5 billion with a B. Dollars.
I want to add on to this. So I read another article that talked about the other deal that Skydance stepped in and ruined. Between,
is that the one with was it HBO or was it a comedy center?
No. They stepped in and ruined negotiations with Netflix and Warner Brothers.
That's right.
For South Park, and Skydance has no legal obligation to do so
because the merger wasn't
done. So Matt and Trey were fucking furious about this stuff because the deal. The deal they were working with Paramount was for 10 years and a $3 billion price tag of continuing South Park. But because of everything going on with the merger and dealing with Skydance and what have you, The settlement was 5 years for $1.5 billion. They could have had $3 billion for 10 years.
Right. That's 50 new episodes.
If we were still working with Opie, he'd only want to sign a 1-year contract for $100 million, and because somebody else will come around. Sign the 10-year deal.
Yeah, take the big chunk.
Yeah,
because that's a lot of probably guaranteed money.
Yeah,
like sure, something could happen. There might be a clause where you can get fired, to drop the show, whatever. But I guarantee there is a lot of guaranteed money. It's almost like sports signings where I'm guaranteed this cash regardless of what happens.
Tell us the terms of the deal.
50 new episodes. In addition, all 26 previous seasons will be available to stream on Paramount Plus for the first time. New episodes will air on Comedy Central and then stream on Paramount Plus the day after. So it's all going to be time and date. So the second it's available, the next day on Paramount Plus, it'll be ready to watch. Which hasn't been the case because of the deal with HBO Max at the time and all this stuff. So they're going to be a little bit more up to date. Having all 26 previous seasons is a big deal because there's a lot of seasons I need to go back and rewatch and a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. But yeah, 50 new episodes over, what did we say, 5 years? So that's a lot. 10 episodes a season for 5 years for $1.5 billion is quite a large chunk of money. And this is on the heels of them signing that double deal, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, where they made probably close to the same amount of money. Like they are just rolling in money.
Yeah, 5 years ago, it was $500 million from HBO and $500 million from Paramount. Yep. So they already hit that billion mark, and now they're hitting it again. They are billionaires.
So... as we talked about last night, the season 27 premiere happened. A lot of it's funny because they announced this deal between Matt and Trey
a couple days ago. Yeah,
they do all this. They get the $1.5 billion, and then season 27 first episode drops and mocks Paramount Plus, mocks CBS, mocks the Colbert firing, and really leans into going after Trump. Like this was we're going to see what we can get away with episode. Well, Trump is seething over the South Park mockery on the eve of the Paramount deal, which was last night. And then they lashed out, calling the season 27 premiere desperate, which I don't know about that, but Here we are. So the White House went on the offensive Thursday morning. Donald Trump fumed over last night's South Park 27 episode premiere and depicted him as a Satan canoodling, which is a Donald Trump fume over last night's South Park, and less than well-endowed, pompous bully, to pull it mildly. This is a quote: "The president is seething over the childish attack by South Park. However, he is annoyed as POTUS is over Trey Parker and Matt Stone's cartoon depiction of himself as shamelessly unclothed emperor and mocking AI-generated PSA during the episode titled Sermon on the Mount. Skydance was warned of the episode's content earlier. With FCC approval of Skydance drawn-out merger with Paramount imminent, the administration was also given a heads-up over what was going to be in the South Park premiere. So everybody knew. They told
the administration what was going to be in it?
They probably felt like they had to, knowing that this has got to be approved or not for the merger. So everyone
just think about it. Matt and Trey were dealing with all this shit because of the incoming parent company and the merger.
I might add, that episode should have aired in the beginning of July.
Correct. Well, that's not the episode they were going to air, apparently.
I don't think so.
Because it was too timely. So the fact that they went and they did this after the Colbert thing. Colbert got fired as everyone thinks it's political. I don't know because CBS is saying financial. Who knows? But they did this as we dare you to sue us now. Like they could have fucked that merger up by airing that episode. But it leads to the rest of the story you're going to get to.
The Trump administration has greenlit the Paramount $8 billion merger with entertainment group Skydance. They approved
imagine that episode today, the day after it aired, the administration approves the merger to go forward. Now, it doesn't mean that they're done. It means there's still a lot of legal stuff to do going forward. But now that's like there's no government interference. It's approved. They can continue how they wish to continue. This is the day after. Imagine that episode aired and blew the whole deal.
Mm-hmm. But see, they already signed the $1.5 billion deal, so Paramount still has to pay them.
So there must not have been some kind of there must not have been some morality clause or damages to the company in there that they like you could be held responsible for the damages to the company if this merger doesn't go through. That language must not be in there for them to go balls to the wall as they did last night. So
Do you think they would have signed a deal for $1.5 billion if that language was in there?
I have no idea, but we didn't know that at the time.
No, we don't.
So. Bravo to them.
Yeah, so they approved the $8 billion to acquire CBS News parent company Paramount, paving the way for a shift in ownership as one of America's 3 major networks. The FCC said Thursday it had approved the acquisition, with Chairman Brendan Carr adding in news release that the move would bring a change to the company's news coverage. Paramount owns CBS, which includes CBS News. Here's this quote: Americans no longer trust the legacy media to report fully, accurately, and fairly. It is time for a change. That is why I welcome Skydance's commitment to make significant changes at the once storied CBS broadcast network. In particular, Skydance has made written commitments to ensure that the new company's programming embodies a diversity of viewpoints from across the political and ideological spectrum. The sole Democrat on the FCC delivered the blistering statement on FCC's approval, basically saying, after months of cowardly capitulation to this administration, Paramount finally got what it wanted. Unfortunately, it is the American public who will ultimately pay the price for its actions. In an unprecedented move, this once independent FCC used its vast power to pressure Paramount to broker a private legal settlement and further erode press freedom. Once again, the agency is undermining legitimate efforts to combat discrimination and expand opportunity by overstepping its authority. And she goes on basically talking about First Amendment. A lot of people believe that it was political, obviously settling that deal with CBS and 60 Minutes and all that fun stuff, which also came up in the episode last night with South Park, which also makes it even funnier, which is why the episode itself is not so funny. It's the surrounding political spectrum and what's going on, which makes that even funnier, because they even say, like, do you know who CBS's parent company is? Paramount. Like, they're naming names in the entire episode, which is hilarious. So, yeah, so they did that. Elizabeth Warren has come out and said bribery is illegal no matter who is president. It sure looks like Skydance and Paramount paid $36 million to Donald Trump for this merger, and he's even bragged about this crooked-looking deal. I've been ringing the alarm bell for months, launching a Senate investigation into possible corruption, and this merger must be investigated for any criminal behavior. It's an open question whether the Trump administration's approval of this merger was the result of a bribe. So they are definitely this story will not go away. It'll be drawn out for a long time, because they're going to start doing all this bullshit and things like that.
I think the next step here is now that this is approved and going forward, do they reverse course on the Colbert decision? Because he's not done like he's done by the end of the summer. It's got till, I think, May of next year.
Yeah.
So they could still at some point reverse course, but also...
Would that look bad on them for doing that?
It could.
Like, what kind of press do you want at this point?
It could, but here's the thing that's difficult, because everyone's saying, oh, it was... they sacrificed him... not sacrifice, but they doing it to it was they were saying like it's a bribe. I think even Colbert was saying this too, that it was a bribe to Trump. What does it say about your fucking parent company about you when, and it could be true too. If we've talked about late night numbers forever about how the ratings are just not anywhere near what they used to be a decade ago with Leno and Letterman. Right. And that's because media and consumption and routine and everything has changed. But they're not getting the ratings. Nobody cares about television for the most part anymore, or at least television as we knew it. Sit like down, flipping the channels to see whatever is on, and that's what you sat and watched. You can watch anything you want, whenever you want. The ratings were terrible. So it's like, yeah, but he was number one. Yeah, out of what? He was, again, 2 million is not something to crow about for late night television. Mm-hmm. So they're like, yeah, but they fired their number one show. Yeah, you should. If he's losing $40 to $50 million, which again, I don't know, but the company put that out. That's not hearsay. representatives from the company of CBS said that late night was costing them $40 to $50 million a year. And he gets paid an enormous amount of money. Then he's got like a staff of over 200, plus the theater, plus everything else. So yeah, maybe he is losing money. Maybe they just said, look, this is how we have to cut the rope here, is because all this is going on. Hopefully it gets lost in the shuffle with it. It's not getting lost, but maybe legitimately that's what it is. When that merger's done, they're going to have to disclose the financial statements of where budgets and funding are going, the money coming in, revenue loss. All of that has to be disclosed before they can go forward with the rest of this stuff. So we'll find out over time if Colbert was losing that much money. But look, again, James Corden was tanking. Nobody gave a shit about him. At Midnight, which was a beloved show on Comedy Central, nobody cared at all or even remembered it was on CBS Late Night.
I keep forgetting it was on until you mention it every time you do that.
Yeah, because nobody cared.
I forgot.
Nobody cared. Fallon does well because of the YouTube stuff. His show is segmented like Saturday Night Live. His stuff generates well on social media and on YouTube and stuff. Colbert's was hit or miss. If he had an interesting guest, it would do well. His monologues would do well for, people that were on the, the more progressive or the liberal leaning sides and everything. They watched the monologues and stuff. But then some of his bits, and I think not all of it translated to clips online. Right. So we'll see what they do going forward. That could be interesting if maybe they reverse course on Colbert. Maybe they do something else. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe some other company swoops in and claims him, thinking, though, this is the hot property. This is the thing to do. I don't know. Who knows? But I bet you we'll hear more about Colbert in the next few months about what's going to happen with him and all of this stuff. I would be surprised if they continue, and I'm not a big fan of the show, but I would be surprised if they let it just run out the clock for the next 10 months till the show is over. I think something's going to happen. And it's not those dumb protesters that are out in the street blaming Trump for all of this stuff here. Yeah. You blame Trump all you want for all of the problems, whatever. The company still made the decision. Skydance probably put pressure on Paramount for it. And look, they had to pay that $16 million for the 60-minute lawsuit that they have to settle that thing. Apparently they paid $20 million for something else. I forgot what that was, but I was reading that article that they paid $20 million in something else. Interesting. This could have just been something to like sweeten the deal. It wasn't a bribe. It could have. Who knows? But I don't think it was more of a bribe to the Trump administration to approve the thing. It might have been like, well, we paid for that thing there. They offered no apology. They paid that $20 million for, I forget what the other thing is for. But let's just throw that in there. Look, this thing's costing us money. One of the heads of, I think of Paramount said, think today that going forward that they're going to reorganize and restructure what CBS is. Mm-hmm. So that could be selling off the news division because they were trying to do stuff with CNN years ago and that didn't happen. Who knows? They may try to revamp everything because they're not doing well.
Well, Woodput's saying he should go back to Comedy Central. Comedy Central's owned by Paramount.
Yeah, Comedy Central's on the chopping block too.
If they get him out of CBS.
Up until the merger stuff started happening, we heard at the beginning of this year that Comedy Central and MTV were going to be sold by March. That they had people, they were willing to sell those channels outside of the company to somebody else. Now, it didn't get revealed who the other buyers were, but it was confirmed they were looking to sell those brands because MTV doesn't make any money. Comedy Central does not make any money, even though South Park is their big tentpole and the Mondays with Jon Stewart does very well for him back on The Daily Show. The rest of the week is kind of eh. No one's talking about it. No one cares about it. They only talk about John on Monday and his monologues, his quips and everything are the clips that are showing the next day.
I only see clips of him.
Yeah.
I don't see clips of any of the other days.
So
Tom from Alberta says, in 10 months when Colbert goes off the air, nobody will notice. Outrages happen almost daily. After 10 months, this will be forgotten. I think you're right and you're wrong. I think we're getting this is the beginning of it and we're going to get it. And then we're going to get 9 months of, okay, it's just the show. And then when he goes off the air and he does those final episodes, the fervor will come back a little bit, but overall, once it ends, and no one's going to give a shit. Like, that's just what's going to end up happening.
What also was puzzling with that too is before the announcement that they were canceling Late Show, like their whole late night franchise, I guess like a day or two before, he took a lot of shots at Paramount for the merger stuff going on and paying the all the money to the administration and all that stuff. And he was shitting on the company. But when that announcement came out, everyone was saying, "Oh, because he was shitting on the company the other day." But I don't know if that
used to shit on his parent company.
I was going to say I don't know if that's enough that could justify firing him in that grandiose of a scale.
No,
but he announces his firing. The next day, Trump put something out, kind of gloating that Colbert lost his job or what have you.
Yeah.
That night, Colbert responded just blatantly saying, "Fuck you" to the president on network television. That alone
probably would have got you
compounded
fired.
with the other stuff, and that the merger hadn't been approved yet at that point, could have fucked everything up, and that could have axed him. He could have been gone by the week's end because of that. I mean, Letterman at least had a finesse on the way that he would shit on NBC when GE took over, or that he would shit on CBS in the later years about how when Westinghouse took over CBS, and then they got rid of Westinghouse, and then CBS Viacom, and then CBS Paramount, and all of that stuff. That he had a way of doing it that it was giving the proverbial middle finger to the company without actually giving the middle finger to the company. Colbert doesn't have that. He just went, "Fuck you" to the president of the United States on network television. That could have been a big problem. Who knows? But I'm interested to see how
we're living in weird times.
We are very weird.
There's going to be
times.
more. This is going to be a weekly bit.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, we're going to hear more over the coming weeks. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, Tom's also right too. It's not really a firing; they're just letting the contract run out. Which, yes, that is true. But eliminating the franchise of anything going there is the bigger story, not just Colbert being let go. But yes, you're right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, let's go into more fun stuff. San Diego Comic-Con started up today as of Thursday.
Who knew?
We
forgot. Jordan and I had a little bit of a meeting yesterday, and we're going over some notes. And we're like, Comic-Cons is like this is. It has never been a worse time to be a convention because we've watched the decline of a lot of these big conventions over the last few years. We were there when E3 collapsed a couple years ago because the Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation didn't want to be part of it, and they wanted to do their own things. So that convention went away. After the pandemic, there were nobody. The year it opened, I think it was 22 or 23. None of the tentpole movie studios were there. It was
I remember right after the pandemic officially ended, you went to New York Comic Con and you were like, "This is desolate."
There was some TV things for Netflix, but that was it. There was nothing there. But it got to the point where Disney doesn't need to use Hall H to do their big announcements anymore. They did for a little bit because they have D23, which at this point is bigger than San Diego Comic-Con. And every 2 years they have Star Wars Celebration, which is 1 year it's in the United States, the next year it's somewhere around the world. Like they move it.
Last year was just in Japan, so the next one will be in Anaheim in 2020.
Right, and then after that, somewhere else. They move it all around the world.
Europe.
But it's a major say what you want, but it's a major convention and a major platform that people from around the world come who are Star Wars fans. So they could do all their Star Wars stuff at Celebration. They can do additional Star Wars stuff, all their Marvel stuff, all their Disney stuff at D23. They don't need Hall H and San Diego Comic-Con anymore. You know who needs it? Warner Brothers, because they're desperate for anything right now. They need that stuff. But all the other movie companies don't need Comic-Con to do it anymore. Getting to the point here, there's been no rumblings, no press, no anything. I forgot Comic-Con was coming up until last week, and you said this too. We saw NECA, our pals over at NECA, the toy company, put out something online that they had some toy reveals, and then you said you saw Mondo, which is another big toy company, put out something there, and then you go, "Oh shit, San Diego Comic-Con's happening." No one's talking about it. There's no press. There's no big, what's the big Saturday night reveal, discussion, any of that stuff. Last year was a big reveal with Robert Downey Jr. and Doom being Doom. The Russo brothers were coming back. That was a
last
big
year's
deal.
huge for Marvel.
Yeah, there's no talk about it this year.
Which leads to the first part of San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel is skipping Comic-Con this year. There will be no Marvel Hall H. And I think that's because they decided to push Doomsday to December of 2026, which means they're going to use Comic-Con of next year to kind of rev up the fans and get everybody kind of into it. So that's why Marvel is no longer at Comic-Con this year in a big capacity.
With the Marvel stuff, I just looked it up here. You got D23 coming up. August 29th through the 31st.
Yeah, they're usually like August or September.
So you'll have D23 happening.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of Disney stuff.
You'll get that there. Maybe Marvel drops some stuff.
They always do. Star Wars stuff will be put out. They'll probably show Ahsoka's trailer because they're filming Ahsoka season 2. So they'll probably show stuff at D23 there. They're going to do park stuff, what's coming to the parks, and then they'll probably do some Marvel bits, a little bit of behind the scenes. But yeah, that right now we're not going to get any of that stuff. So Preston C is saying, isn't Steven Spielberg announcing or celebrating the opening of his gigantic $1 billion museum? No, sir, that is George Lucas. That museum looks like a goddamn spaceship. I've seen it being built when I went to go see Rammstein over at the USC Stadium over in California, and it is massive. It is gigantic. And an overhead shot, it looks like some kind of futuristic spaceship, and it's got like grass on top of it. But yeah, that opens up, I believe, this year, either later this year or, which is crazy because we're going into August, or sometime next year. But yeah, he's going to be at Comic-Con. It's just like his first Comic-Con appearance. So yeah, that'll be George Lucas. He's going to be there. The next bit is The Legend of Vox Machina has been renewed for a 5th and final installment. Prime Video teases season 4 with a first look. This is a show that Heather's been trying to get us to watch since like season 1. And we were like, yeah, we'll watch it. And we never do. They're getting a 5th season. I guess now I could probably watch it because I know they have 5 seasons of content I can blaze through. They showed a trailer for that. 4th season does come out in 2026. This is something I didn't realize they were doing. They teased it earlier this year. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, showed off a trailer today. This is the quote from Rob Reiner. Nigel, David, and Derek haven't seen the film. I can't believe they made a sequel this late in the game.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, but they're, Christopher Guest, who plays Nigel Tufnell, Michael McKean, David St. Hubbins, and Harry Shearer is coming back as Derek Smalls, along with a ton of guest stars.
Hope
Elton John,
Ozzy's
Paul
not
McCartney.
in it. Because then it's fictional.
Maybe. Yeah. Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood, Paul Schaefer, Fran Drescher, Don Lake, John Michael Higgins, Nina Conti, Griffin Matthews, Carrie Goodman, Chris Addison, and others that have not been announced, but they are basically reuniting after a 15-year hiatus for one final concert. Considering the Ozzy stuff, that seems kind of weird that's the premise of the movie. We just saw it play out, so I don't know. I'm going to watch the trailer. I haven't watched it yet. I love the first movie. It's one of those seminal movies. I just don't know if a second one was needed,
right?
Especially this late in the game, but we'll see. Right as we were going on tonight, Five Nights at Freddy's announced that they're adding Skeet Ulrich to the cast of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The trailer dropped today. I watched it with my kid. It looks a lot darker than the last, which is kind of cool. Very much into the first movie. Didn't care for the games. My kids love it. But the first movie wasn't bad, and it made a ton of money despite being streaming and in the theater at the same time. They figured they can just make these things cheap, make a bunch of money, and then we're good to go. Avatar, The Seven Heavens, drops their first new look as the new Earthbender avatar set after the Legends of Korra. Nickelodeon released the first look of the upcoming animated series Avatar, Seven Havens, the sequel series to the popular show Avatar, The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. The artwork was revealed today during one of its panels, celebrating Avatar's 20th anniversary. The story follows two earthbending twins when one discovers she's the Avatar, the latest person who can wield all 4 elements. The new series is set in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra. I started watching the cartoon after they did the live action Netflix show. It's not bad. It's really good. I enjoy it. I've got a lot of content to get through before I probably even come near this new one. But yeah, people love it. 20 years later, they're doing all that stuff. What you loading up in there? What we got?
For your next story.
Ooh, what's in the Master Universe?
Mm-hmm.
So Master Universe released the title with some of the music from the old cartoon, revealing that the movie is coming out June 5th, 2026. I didn't really know what the storyline was going to be, and then they posted this. The movie follows 10-year-old Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth in a spaceship and was separated from his magical power sword. Gross. The only link to his home to Eternia.
So
they're basically crash landing him as a young kid, letting him live in Earth for 20 years. He gets his sword and goes back to Eternia.
So
After
it's Superman.
It's literally Superman. It's a Superman story. Yeah. So that's what that story is going to be about. He's got to go back and fight Skeletor and all that shit.
This is some of the stuff they were had on display at San Diego Comic-Con for
that's
Masters
cool.
of the Universe. There's the power sword right there. And also the reveal of Skeletor's staff.
Oh, I love it. Unfortunately, it's Jared Leto, so I'm not super into it yet. But we'll see.
Well, there's another press line that they won't have him on because of all of that stuff. So there's that. And did you have any more on He-Man? Because
no, they didn't really reveal. I don't know if we're even going to get a trailer this San Diego Comic-Con. They haven't really talked about it too much, but we still have Friday, Saturday, really, to get a lot of news after that. But I saw that they were putting just the logo reveal and the release date. So I'm sure we're going to get something. We've been seeing a lot of behind the scenes, and he's been wearing like the white pants with the big salmon colored shirt. So, I mean, he's starting to look the part.
Right.
So we'll see. I don't know.
One last minor thing with San Diego Comic-Con, and ties back to wrestling. Do you know the company Ringside Collectibles?
I've heard of them.
So they have deals with Mattel and Jakks Pacific, who are the two companies that make action figures for the wrestling companies.
Right.
And they usually have special deals that they work out with them so they can get new versions of action figures, like in a different shirt, different outfit, pose, different stage of their career, something like that. And they're exclusive to Ringside Collectibles, and they do a San Diego Comic-Con panel and a display every year showing you the new things they had. So they were showing you all the new figures and the new things that they're releasing. But then they posted this on social media, and I'm not 100% sure it's real, if this was a rib, but take a look at this.
Ooh, the Build-A-Figure Sam Roberts.
So Ringside Collectibles has said, upcoming Mattel WWE Build-A-Figure Sam Roberts. Follow us at San Diego Comic-Con for the wrestling figure coverage. Now, what a Build-A-Figure is that means like the figure's in like 5 or 6 parts. And you have to buy 6 other action figures to get the one part.
They do those with a lot of Marvel ones too, where you're just like, ooh, you could build the Juggernaut, but you have to buy 7 figures to get all of the little bits.
Right. So I don't know if this is true or not, because I went through their other social media. There's no mention of this. And I went through the website and there's no mention of this. This was just on their Twitter account. So it could just be a ruse. Sam is hosting, or has hosted, because it's already passed now today, the panel for Ringside Collectibles at San Diego Comic-Con, and because he's a WWE personnel, so he's there like appearance fees and all that shit, signings, photos, whatever. But if this is true, look, you get the head of him currently now, where the Propecia kicked in, and you know he's when you what bald
keep
guy,
Sam's name out of your mouth.
What happens is if the bald, when people get bald, they grow the face, the beard, the facial hair in there to compensate from what they lose on the head. But they said it comes with an alternate head, which is the Sam that I knew when I worked with him, where he had the big afro and the baby face. So if this is true, I would like to get this figure with the hair and then kind of revert back to the old days of playing with action figures, where you maybe would get a magnifying glass and go outside in the sun and try to burn off the hair to make it look like the so it's just 2 bald heads that are the option for this figure.
I'm still collecting action figures. I got a new piece from NECA the other day, and I put that out on Twitter. Then they announced a new Jaws figure thing that I got to buy. And yeah, no, NECA's killing it, man. We got to get them back on.
If this is true, congratulations to Sam, because that is quite a feat.
That is pretty cool.
And I'll say this too. He's got an official wrestling figure through if this is true, through Mattel and WWE. Todd Pettengill had to pay some other shit company to make a really crappy version of his own. So Sam got an official action figure, if true, before Todd Pettengill did. So congratulations to Sam. Well earned if that is the case. So
it's fun.
All right.
All right, and last but not least, we talked about it earlier because I've been rewatching Ted Lasso. Filming has begun for Ted Lasso season 4. They kicked off the long-awaited 4th season of Ted Lasso. It's being produced by Jason Sudeikis. Original cast members Juno Temple, which is a favorite.
I love her.
And Brendan Hunt, who played Coach Beard, have closed their deals to return, joining Sudeikis as well as Hannah Waddingham, Brett Goldstein, and Jeremy Swift, who is Leslie. Whose options were picked up last August, kicking off the show's comeback. They are believed to have a 3-year deal, which is interesting, corroborating the speculation that Sudeikis has a new 3-season arc in mind for Ted Lasso. Here's the official synopsis, which I didn't know about until today. Ted returns to Richmond, taking on his biggest challenge yet, coaching a 2nd Division women's football team. Throughout the course of the season, Ted and the team learn to leap before they look, taking chances that they never thought they would.
Why?
So basically, that's why you're not seeing a lot of the players signing on, as you know, with
why
Brett
do
Goldstein,
this?
He was a coach. I don't know.
I know Apple's like that show was like their tentpole show for Apple Plus. It's like, we need to make more of these things because we make money. But now he's going to go back as a women's coach. No offense to the women.
No Jamie Tart.
It's a big step down for 1, professionally, and 2, for the show. 3 to get ready and 4 to go. And we should go right now. So Jordan, that's the plug music. We're getting out of here. The nation's eyes turn to you.
You can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, at Brian Shea. No, just kidding. That's all.
Oh, that's not
Nintendo
you. My
podcast.
bad. That's you.
Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, at Jinx Ronan, Twitch at Jinx Ronan 79. If you want to use your free Twitch subscription using Amazon Prime, you can go over to Twitch at It's Eric Nagel. Use your free subscription. Give us a free month out of your already hard-earned subscription to Amazon Prime. It costs you nothing extra. It helps out the show, and we'd appreciate it.
All right. For me and the show and everything that goes along with that, social media, it's Eric Nagel across the board. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, do us a kindness, put us in the #1 spot on the presets. There's nothing more I can say about that. Apple and Spotify, do us a kindness over there. Leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. Join us live each and every week on YouTube and on Twitch, all under It's Eric Nagel, so you can be part of the program to interact as we do this stuff here. Plus, you get to see stuff that gets cut out of the radio show and the videos that wind up on YouTube. So there's your incentive. And if you can't be bothered with any of that stuff and just want to watch the videos whenever they show up on YouTube, that is your right to do so. Go over there, give us a like, follow, and subscribe, and go through all the videos. Just hit the thumbs up button like Jordan does every week. I know it's you. Go through them, give us a like. It does help, et cetera, et cetera. All right, that's it, right? We're done.
Who's thumbing up every video we've ever put out in succession?
Usually you.
This guy.
Sometimes me. I don't know. Anyway, are you going to have time to make it to the movie?
No.
Fuck. Rob is going to be so happy. I did not mean to do that. I apologize.
Oh, I don't care. I'll see it. I'll see it tomorrow, definitely, for sure, or Saturday in the afternoon. So
take the kids; they'll enjoy it too.
Oh, fuck that.
All right. Till the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other,
and we'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
I think they were yelling, "You're great, keep going." But it came out as groans and stares of indifference.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.